Today we talk about losing weight through lifestyle changes. Hello legends and super legends, welcome to Veloharmony. Today's video we're discussing how you lose weight permanently. And the only way to do that is by modifying your lifestyle. Because if you don't do it that way, you end up binging and so forth and so on. So let's get right into it. You've probably heard people talk about metabolism. Let's equate the metabolism in your body as a log in a fireplace or a log at a campfire. As the campfire dies down, you throw another log. What happens? The fire comes back up. It continues to burn. It's the same thing going on with your body. The human body is a machine that is engineered to keep you alive even when you do dumb things like not feed yourself. It's called starvation mode. So those of you who, you probably know someone who said, I'm too busy to eat. But that same person got time to put gas in the car. If you run your car without fuel, what happens? It stops running. Same thing happens to your body. I drew this line here to kind of represent an equilibrium point. You're moving along every day. You eat breakfast, you eat lunch, your body's here. Even if you don't work out, your body still maintains some kind of equilibrium because it expects, oh, this guy is feeding us regularly, whether breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks, whatever. Now, if you're eating poor meals, you're making poor choices, high calorie stuff, what's going to happen is if you're not physically active, the net impact of what you're putting in. So if you put in, I'm just going to use base numbers. You put in 100 calories in your body and you only burn 50, you're going to be 50 calorie, what we call in deficit. Okay? It doesn't matter how good, whether you shop at Whole Foods or Kroger or wherever, it doesn't really matter. As long as you have more calories in than what's coming out, meaning you don't have to be an endurance athlete or world-class runner. What it means is if just getting up in the morning, going to get the paper, getting in your car, going to the office, walking to lunch, whatever the things that you normally do, if they don't burn more than what you put in, you will have a deficit, you will gain weight. So let's get into this. Let's assume now you realize that and you say, okay, my lifestyle in this Western world, I'm not foraging for food like we were designed to do. I'm not in the forest looking for berries and whatever else, burning those calories before I find food. I'm ordering takeout. I'm driving to McDonald's. I'm driving wherever I'm in the line. I mean, nowadays, people don't even want to get out of the car to go in the restaurant to order their food. They sit in the drive-thru because they don't have time, supposedly. So if you're living like that, it doesn't really matter how great the food is that you're eating. You're going to be in deficit if you do not burn more than you put in. I'm leading directly to what they call calorie counting. I don't subscribe to that. Who's got time for that? If you don't have time to get out of the car to go get food to eat, do you have time to count the calories? Most people don't. I don't have time for that. I don't believe in that foolishness. It's a waste of time. Why bother? Life's too short. What needs to happen is you need to realize that just like a car, if you don't drive it, it will die. The human body is the same. You don't use your body, you will kill it. There are diseases that we get from sedentary living, meaning you're not using your body. You just get diseases based on that in the Western society that you avoid just by being active. Whatever it is, go swimming, go walking, go do whatever. Because our lifestyle here, where we're sitting in a car, sitting in an office, all of that, human beings weren't meant to be sitting around all the time. We're meant to use our bodies. You know, this amazing machine that is self-contained, you know. So you need to realize that and incorporate activities in your life, especially in the Western world, to where you burn this extra 50. Okay? Now, let's talk about all the excuses that are out there. I'm too busy at work to eat lunch. I got a guy I'm working with right now, Saki, my buddy, and that's one of his predicaments. I already told him what he needs to do because what happens is If you eat breakfast and you skip lunch, this little engine here that I put down here, if you skip lunch and you don't feed it lunch, instead of it being up here, it's going to drop down here. So this guy's not going to feed us. It's going to slow down. Just like your car would slow down when you don't have the gas in the tank. The human body will go into starvation mode. It will store calories to keep you alive, even though you're doing something dumb. It's engineered to do that, to keep you alive. That's how come people that are in accidents or plane crashes or hikers getting missing, like those kids in Malaysia? Anyway, in Asia, the kids got missing in the cave for 9 days. They had no food and water. They found them alive. The body went into starvation mode. So if you start missing lunch, your body will go in starvation mode. It won't even burn this 50 we're talking about. Okay? Let alone now, by dinner time, you're running on low energy because the body will conserve that energy. That's why at the end of the day, you're dragging. You're tired after work. You just come home and plop down on the couch. And then because you miss lunch, every kind of food looks good. You don't make good choices. You eat a lot of crap for dinner. So your body doesn't trust that you're going to feed it consistently. What does it do? It adds what you eat for dinner to that storage. Packs even more. So instead of you burning 50, you might burn 25 now because you're skipping lunch. The body says, I'm not burning that other 25. This knucklehead is not feeding me consistently. I'm going to store that. Okay? That's what happens. It's a simplistic approach. But I wanted to do it this way because I want people to understand losing weight is not rocket science. In the Western world with sport, we got people like Jenny Craig and all these people making money off of people because they're choosing their meals for them. I mean, really? Is it really that difficult to know that you're hungry and to go get something to eat? It's not. Just eat consistently. Eat a balanced meal, meaning don't eat a whole piece of steak. Break it up. Throw some other stuff on there. Eat a variety of kinds of food. Eat whatever you crave. The reason you're craving it, especially when you're eating consistently, the reason you're craving a certain food is because there's a nutrient in there your body's telling you, I want that. Like when women are expecting kids, they'll crave peanut butter. I mean, they get the strangest cravings. There's a reason. And then when they eat that, they're fine. So don't ignore that. You need to eat to live. I mean, it's, in fact, even our government with all its issues, there is a law that says you cannot have an employee working more than 4 hours without giving them a break. They know you need a break, whether for biological reasons, to eat, whatever. So when people come and tell me I'm too busy to eat, that's nonsense. That means you're not planning. You're not taking control of your own life. Yeah, if the vending machine at work is lousy on choices, pack your own lunch. There are grocery stores, go buy. You don't need to know how to cook. Pick up bread, make a sandwich. Throw it in a bag, take it with you. You know what you're going to be running into. Nobody wants an employee passing out at work because they didn't eat. There is no boss that will tell you not to eat. There is no trip, a job trip you're going to do, whether you're a real estate agent or whatever it is, you're on the road, on the job, they assign you, whatever. You need to know that you're going to be in your car and you're not going to know where you're going to be, whether you're in the middle of nowhere. Pack your food. Go and buy a bag that's like a picnic bag and take control of that. That's what this video is about. Take control of the things that affect you. No more excuses. Nobody else is responsible for making sure you eat consistently. Think about it. We drive around looking for super and leather to put in our cars, but you don't have time to pack food for you to eat. So there's no excuses. So as long as you don't do that and you start messing around, skipping lunch, skipping dinner, whatever, eating at midnight because you've starved yourself the whole day, your body is in an uproar. It doesn't know what the hell you're doing. So that fire goes out. The little bonfire or the picnic fire or whatever goes out. Then late at night you're eating. Then it starts back up slowly. Then you miss another meal. By eating consistently, your calorie burning continues and you can continue to burn this 50 so that when you run around and do more, like you start working out or whatever, then you'll be able to burn what you're putting in. If you start messing around, missing meals, that's when you start binge eating because everything looks good. I was taught as a little kid that you don't go to the grocery store hungry because everything in the grocery store would look good. So we always had a meal before we went grocery shopping, and that's just something that that's the way it is. That's just true to this day. So let's summarize. Weight loss creeps up on us. We don't pay attention to it. We don't weigh ourselves when we're gaining weight. It's just all of a sudden you realize clothes don't fit. Somebody makes a comment, or you see yourself in the mirror. You're like, man, you catch yourself. Then all of a sudden now we want to lose it in a hurry. No, it took a while to put on. It will take a while for it to come off. Don't worry so much about it as opposed to trying to determine what made me put on this weight. What have I changed in my lifestyle? I don't care how important, big, or whatever the job is. There is no job that equates to your health, because if you're not healthy, you can't do that job. That will replace you with somebody else. So don't put the job above your health. Your health is first. Nobody puts an ad in there in the want ads for an unhealthy employee. Okay, no employer wants that. They want to know you're going to be at work consistently. And that takes a well-rounded individual. You need to be healthy to be able to work. So there's no employer that will stop you from eating. Even if they assign work that conflicts with lunch, you need to either schedule the work after lunch or take your food with you and find a way to make sure you're eating consistently. That is your responsibility and no one else's. And if anybody tries to there is no employer that will fire you for that, because you can sue, because it's illegal. You are required to have breaks. So it's just an excuse. Take charge. You want to lose weight, get serious about it. Eat consistently and stay active, especially if your job is a sedentary one where you're sitting around all day. You need to exercise at least 3 times a week. And it's not just aerobic exercise. You need some strength exercise as well, especially as you age, because there's a loss in bone density and so forth. We have gravity. That's our biggest aid. If you were in space, you will lose bone density like that. The astronauts have to do special workouts when they're up there to avoid that, especially the ones on the space station. So you're down here, no excuses. You got gravity. You don't need a gym. Get a jump rope. Stand in your backyard. Flip it around. That's a great workout. Okay? There are a lot of ways to work out. So I'm going to wrap it up there by saying that until you take control of your lifestyle daily, you cannot control what happens to you. Don't make excuses. The vending machine at work is not there just for you. Somebody's selling you something. They choose what they put in there. So if it runs out or doesn't have what you want, then take control by making sure you have what you like to eat. I don't like to get into, avoid this, avoid that. I believe that life is too short to tell people to be too restrictive. What I like to tell people is eat from the different food groups. Have some vegetables, have some protein. You can have legumes or whatever. Variety is the spice, okay? As long as you do that and you stay active, you will lose weight. The reason you put on weight is because you've changed your lifestyle. When we were kids, we ran around all the time. Now all of a sudden you got a job and all of that. You're sitting around all day, not eating. Then at the end of the day, you're tired and you come home, plop down on the couch, eat something, and just sit there because you have no energy first to start. Then you eat a heavy piece of steak. It makes you even more tired while it's processing. And since you're sitting around waiting for it to process as opposed to being active, all the calories just stay in there, okay? So change your lifestyle, get active, control what you eat, and make sure you miss no meals and you'll be well on your way. So until we get back to the next topic, make sure you get those K's in.